Child trafficking is a major problem where it is hindering the development of the child and the growth of the nation. Hello everyone, this is Prathyusha. Welcome to Law Excellence. In today's session, we're going to discuss about the child trafficking. What is child trafficking? What is the provisions that are being present? Constitutional provisions, statutory provisions, policies that are being there. What are the main concerns, data that is being present regarding the child trafficking? What can be done a way forward so that the child trafficking phenomena can be reduced? Now, when we see the basic definition of the child trafficking in the world and in the India. Now, when we see, according to the UN Palmero definition, the child trafficking is where we find the recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring or reception of a person by means of threat, force, coercion, abduction, feud, deception, abuse of power or vulnerability for the purpose of exploitation. Now, this is where the word trafficking has been coming about. Then here in the national level, what is the definition for the child? Because in different countries, we have different types of age limits are being present, considering a child who is a child and who is an adult. Now, according to India, according to the Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children 2015 Act, any person, any being who has been less than 18 years of age, now those persons have been considered as a child according to the section 212 that is being present. Now let us also observe what are the constitutional provisions that has been present with the child trafficking. For example, in India, the article 15(3) that has been present, where the state may create special provisions to taking care of the children. Then we have article 21 that has been there, where we have the right to life and the personal life. This is where we have been present. Then we have the article 24 has been present, where we are trying to prohibit the employment of the children who are being present below 14 years in the hazardous conditions. Now here you can see, child we are considering as 18 below is considered as a child. But when we see in this article, whenever the children who have been present below 14 should not be employed in the hazardous conditions. So this is a difference that has been there. Then we have article 19E and F that has been present, where we are saying we are trying to ensure the children by not forcing the economic necessities or occupations, where we are trying to make them work, employ, etc. Then there is also directive principles, article 25, where we are saying that the state is having the duty to provide the education for the children. Now these are the different constitutional provisions that are being present. Let us also see the statutory and the policy frameworks that are being there. For example, we have the IPC section 370 and 370A. It is regarding trafficking and exploitations regarding the children that are being there, where if someone is being going with the trafficking and exploitation of the children, they are criminalized and punishments are being present. Then we have Immortal Traffic Prevention Act 1956. Now here we are trying to deal with the commercial sex exploitations of the minor specific provisions are being stated here. We also have protection of the children from the sexual offences. POCSO Act 2012 that has been there, sexual offences against the children we have been trying to deal in this. We also have Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children 2015, where we are trying to rescue, we are trying to care, rehabilitation. We have the establishment of different organs have been present. For example, child welfare commissions have been introduced. Now this is where we have different provisions, statutory and the policy framework that are being present with the India. Now let us see. Let us see the major causes and vulnerability factors. Now, why the children are being exposed towards the trafficking? First thing is that we have the poverty and the economic distress. Now, this is considered as the primary push factors that are being present whenever the child is being made to work or for the economical benefits that have been associated, child trafficking is being done. Second, we have migration and displacement issues, the seasonal migration, disaster that has been occurring in that region. In that situations also, vulnerability of the children is being exposed regarding the trafficking. Then we have the demand for the cheap labor, sexual exploitation, domestic work, organ trade. Now this is where the large amount of child trafficking has been there, where we have the sexual exploitation of the children has been there at a minor age, at the age of 15 years to 18 years period of time. We also have domestic demand has been present. We also have organ trade has been going on regarding the children trafficking. Then we also have social factors where caste, gender discrimination, lack of education, family breakdown. These are also enhancing the vulnerability for the child trafficking. Then institutional framework and the corruption, the weak policies that are being present, the digital risk. Now this is increasing more and more. The US TIP report also has stated that nowadays the child trafficking has been increasing related to the digital era or digital techniques that are being present. Let's see some of the statistics regarding the child trafficking. For example, the National Crime Report Bureau, the crime in India in 2022 has stated that there are around 225 human trafficking cases have been present, and large amount of the cases have been present in the Telangana region, Maharashtra and the Bihar region. And in the world, if you see, we have US TIP report 2024 has stated that we have around, India has saved around 7,143 victims and 900 potential victims in 2022. But here it also is highlighting a factor that it is changing the digital facilitation of the trafficking and the gaps that are being present in the services. Then let's see what is the challenges that are being present, why we still cannot eradicate the child trafficking in India. First thing is that we have the low conviction rates. So whenever we have the child trafficking cases are being present, the trial itself is a very long in nature, and after the trial also, how much amount of the punishment is being delivered for that child trafficking case is very minimal or very lengthy in nature, which is downsizing the amount of the convictions. Then we are having coordination problems where across the agencies the coordination has been missing, inconsistent functioning of the child welfare commissions or anti-human trafficking units in some units. Now this is where the issue has been there. Now one incident also has happened where the Supreme Court has highlighted the gaps that are being present when the anti-human trafficking units couldn't produce the child trafficked victims under the case, the trial that is being going on. Now these gaps are being creating more. The rescue and the rehabilitation gaps are present regarding the child trafficking. Then we have the aftercare and reintegration problems have been present. Data issues has been present because large amount of underreporting. Now many people have been not actually been reporting, and also there is an inconsistency in the classification. What is a missing children and what is a child trafficking children or some other cases? Distinguishing is being not clearly done. Lastly, we have the legislative overlaps that have been there, where we do have the anti-trafficking law of the 2018 bill, which is not fully enacted. Enaction has been less in the Indian format. Now let's see one practice question regarding the child trafficking. One, which of the following acts provides that a child is a person who has not completed 18 years of age? A. Protection of Children from Sexual Offences, POCSO Act 2012. Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children Act 2015, Immoral Traffic Prevention Act 1956, Child Labour Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986. Do comment in the section the correct answer, and also do comment what should the India do to reduce the child trafficking cases. Now let's also see one of the mains practice question. Child trafficking in India persists despite numerous laws and institutions. Analyze the gap in the legal and institutional framework. Suggest measures to strengthen the rescue and rehabilitation. Whatever we have discussed in this session can be utilized in answering this question. Thank you everyone.